This is a solo episode, and it is going to be episode 113. And I'm really excited to be here with you today. And I'm going to be sharing on a topic called betrayal. And I'm going to be sharing a little bit of a story, something that happened to me. And then I want to talk about betrayal in business. You can refer to this in life, however you want to look at this. But I think this needs to be talked about more because I do feel like in business, in life, things happen. And I like to be as honest and as real as I possibly can. And if you refer back to my Good Girl episode, which was episode 110 that I did, I really talked about that concept of being a good girl, what that meant, old programming that is in our head. And, becoming a businesswoman and an entrepreneur and putting things creatively out into the world, things happen, right? But I feel like so much of the time, we as females, we have been taught to be good girls, right? We have been taught to not cause drama. We have been taught to keep it nice, stay quiet, take the high road, whatever that means. And I'm going to share a little bit about what I'm talking about and what happened to me. And I want you to think if you've had a situation that has happened to you where you have been working with someone, and this could be in your job, this could be in your business, where someone took advantage of you, or someone stole something from you, or someone was unethical, someone betrayed you in some way. So, what I want to share with you actually happened. The reason I'm putting this out now is because almost a year ago, I had a virtual summit for moms, and it was something that I had worked on for months. I wanted to find another way that I could impact moms in another way. So I have this podcast, I work with moms, and I wanted to find another way to help even more moms. So this summit was like my baby, and it was really all about helping moms through with parenting, with self-love, with business. It was incredible. There were 27 experts that came on and shared their knowledge. I love highlighting other people, which is again why I love to do this podcast. But unfortunately, once the podcast was over, one of the women that I had hired to help me get this summit off the ground, because she knew how to do systems and all that stuff, and I had no idea. And this was someone that I trusted, that I called a friend. She actually took everything that I had created and she cloned it for her own. So she cloned the different pages, the workflow, how we did the early bird, some of the email messaging. She actually cloned it out of my system and put it in her own and was using it to do her own summits. And if you've had something like that happen to you, literally, I, like, couldn't sleep at night when I first saw it, and I, like, feel my throat, like, tightening up right now, but because it makes me so emotional still to even think about it. But my feelings that I had, have you had these feelings before when something like this has happened? I immediately was like, I shouldn't trust people. I can't trust people. How do I even trust myself? Because I hired this person, and now look what happened. What is wrong with me? I am a pushover. I am weak. I'm too nice. Maybe this is how business is done. I'm not a good businesswoman. So you can flip all those and think, have you ever thought those things? Have you had something happen to you personally, professionally, and then you automatically start flipping it to be your fault, right? Like, what did you do wrong? And I'm talking about these things now, and then hopefully at the end I'll empower you to what you can be doing and what I did and what I'm still doing, because obviously here I am a year later, a year I have been working on different feelings and working on triggers and working on how to move past this. And there is no one right journey for anyone. Some people might be able to snap their fingers, move on, they're good to go, release it and go. Me, I am not like that. So I had to hire someone to help me move through triggers, move through things that I was still holding on to feel safe again in working with other people, to trust myself. And so, those were all the feelings that were honestly going through my head, that it was my fault, that I did something wrong, when honestly, it had nothing to do with me. It was this other person. It was her being unethical in her business. It was her taking advantage of having access to my information and seeing that it was success and just taking it for her own. Now, I did have a conversation with this person, which again is very hard, and I get emotional and I cry, but it still didn't resolve it for me. It still wasn't enough because honestly, this person kept doing summits and she kept, you know, putting them out there, and she kept going on about with her life and doing all these things and being a leader. And I was the one that I took my power away. I stepped back. I got quiet. I didn't want to post on social media. I didn't want to use my voice. I wanted to cocoon and hide and, you know, basically go into a shell, like a turtle almost. You know what I mean? Has that ever happened to you where you have had something happen to you and you just want to hide? You don't want to say anything. You don't know what to do. You want to maybe say something, but you don't want to have a label like you're causing drama or you're doing something. And you honestly don't know what to do, because for me, I had to get all of my stuff out of this place because I didn't feel I could trust it in there, having all of my contacts in there, having my information. If I came up with other, when I came up with other ideas, having them there, knowing that they would be safe and not taken and used by someone else against my permission. So then, after this happened, I still had to then go find another location to put house all of my emails, all of my contacts, recreate the whole summit again because people had paid for things that were in there. So it was then a lot of work. And so a lot of emotions that I was working through. And I wanted to share this with you because I don't feel like this is talked about enough. I feel like we as women, like I shared earlier, those things of be quiet, do the right thing, take the high road, like don't cause this drama, be good, be quiet, don't hurt someone else's reputation, when then what about the person that the thing that happened to? Like, why aren't they supposed to talk about it? Why can't they? It happened to them. It's their story. It's their journey. They can choose to do whatever the hell they want, to be completely honest. So, this last year, I've really been working on those things and, feeling triggered because this person was in groups that I was in, and how to handle that situation when really I just wanted to call her out. I wanted to shout it out and be like, you are not a good business person. Please do not trust this person with your information because this could happen to you. So I just didn't show up in those locations where I thought this person might be because I didn't trust myself to be emotionally stable, if that makes sense. And maybe that has happened to you before. But what I really wanted to come here and just share is like lessons that I have learned from what happened. From someone taking my property, from someone stealing basically my intellectual property. And I'm sure there's things that I definitely could have done differently at the time, but here's a couple lessons that maybe, this can help you as well. But really learning to trust yourself. So trust yourself in the process of working with people, trust yourself when something like this happens. Your story is your story. So however you want to handle it, there is no right or wrong answer. This is your life. No one is in your shoes. So trust yourself in whatever you want to do, however you want to take action moving forward. Um, get in Get a contract. So get a contract for both of us. So me getting a contract of like, this is my intellectual property, even though I had terms of agreement, privacy policy, all those different things, this still happened, but making sure that there's some kind of agreement in place. You can seek out help. So, and that help can be, you talking to a friend, maybe hiring a coach, maybe going to a counselor, maybe it's legal situation that you need to take legal action on this because it's not right. It is not right for you to pay someone and then they take your information and use it for your own. No matter what anyone tells you, you are not in the wrong here. That is not your fault. That is the other person. They have to live with it. And they might just be able to move right on and act like it never happened and they're good to go. And that's on them. I don't work that way, but obviously some people do. But you just have to know what's right for you. So make sure you are talking to whoever you need to talk to about it, talking to the person that did it to you, bringing this up, talking to other people that you trust. Maybe you do need to hire a coach to work through it. Maybe you do need to hire legal, hire a lawyer and find out what actions can be taken. And, I would recommend like knowing those ahead of time too. Like, if something happens, like what can you do? A cease and assist, like whatever that may look like for you, like know that. You know what I mean? Just know that. And even if you're new in business, like it's just always good to know like just basic things, just basic. Know that this is your journey. So this is my journey. This is how I'm handling it. And I can do whatever the hell I want. Here I am a year later talking about it because now I feel that I can talk about it. Now I feel like I am safe to talk about it. That this, whatever happens, happens. Like if you end up following me, if you don't end up following me, if you unfriend me, like whatever it is, I am not calling this person out and saying her name. But I think this kind of thing needs to be talked about because it's shady and people are doing this, and I don't know if you hear about it a lot because it's like business is great and do business with females and things like that. But yeah, shit happens. Shit happens. And you need to be aware of it that things like this do happen. And so I hope that this can help in some way for you to just, again, learn to trust yourself or take precautions or know, okay, if something does happen to me, like, what can I do? What should I do? Who can I reach out to? Should I reach out to someone? Do I have to stay quiet? No, you don't. You don't. This happened to you. Okay. And you can also learn from it. I mean, I learned how to take my whole summit. I learned how to get my email list somewhere else. I learned how to set up sequencing. I learned how to set up a portal to house all of the membership stuff. Like, I learned how to do all that again because I had to. Because I had to, because my hand was played, it was forced upon me, and so I got to learn all that stuff, which again, super, super cool, really sucked, but I got to learn that. I learned there's people that I can trust with this. Like there were people that I talked to about this that never said a word about it. Because when I went through that phase of like, is this right? Like, is this actually how business between women is done? Like, are we that friendly where you can take someone's stuff? Like, is this normal? Like, I don't know. I'm still new to this. I'm still like an entrepreneur baby at this kind of stuff. But is this really how business is? And they totally assured me, no, it's not. No, someone should not be doing this to you. And I want you to know that too. No, someone should not take your information. No, someone should not take advantage of you in business, but it happens. But it happens. Okay. So your journey is going to be different than everyone else. Okay. And just do your best, right? Just do your best just to trust yourself, to do your research about other people that you are going to be working with. And I did do research and I knew this person and I thought it was all going to be great. And it was absolutely great until it wasn't. So there's never going to be like a surefire 100%. Nothing is ever going to happen to you in business. So it's what you can take from it and learn from it and figure out, okay, like, how am I going to move forward? I don't want to keep living in fear. I don't want to not trust people. I don't want to quiet my voice. I want to keep moving forward. I want to keep creating things. I want to trust myself. That is the most important thing. I want to trust myself and know that I don't have to be quieted. I don't have to, you know, worry about other people and protect the person that did this to me. Because when I was working with my coach, that was like an aha for me. I was like, gosh, I'm actually protecting this other person. That's how I started working through it. Like, once I started talking about it and doing the work and writing things down and having someone else's guidance, first of all, you're going to go through so many emotions. So let yourself feel all of the emotions, the anger, the fear, the resentment, the bitterness, like whatever you are going to fear, the sadness, being scared, whatever you're going to feel, let yourself feel it. Recognize it. Let yourself feel it. And then, however you need to work through it, however you need to keep moving forward, because you are going to get through this. You're going to be stronger on the other side, but you have to use your voice. Okay. For me, what I wanted to work on and what I have been working on the last 12 months is working on growing from this experience. So, like I said, I had to research and find other places where I could house this and other CRMs and figure out how to do that. I needed to work on feeling better myself internally. Like, I felt so sick last year and was getting sick because of this. Our body holds the trauma. Our body holds on to things in different ways. And my body was telling me, like, you're feeling sick. Working on trusting myself, working on finding my voice again, working on feeling all my emotions, working on being stronger every day, and working on breaking those old stories that I can't talk about this. This is shushed. Just put it under the carpet, right? Take her the higher road. Be the bigger person in this situation. Just take it. Just take it and move on. It's fine. No, it's not. It's not. Betrayal sucks, especially when it's someone that you called a friend, especially when it is someone that you are in the same circle with. It makes it a little bit more sketchier. But I want you to be strong, my fellow human. Stay strong in your truth, stay strong in your voice, stay strong in your power, and stay strong in your knowing. Because if you have been through a betrayal of any kind, whether it is in business, whether it is personal, it takes time. You are going to get through it. You're going to trust yourself. You are going to learn from this situation. And hopefully, you're going to do better. Hopefully, you're going to do better for yourself, for those around you, because we need your voice. We need you out in this world doing amazing things. We need you to speak the truth, to be honest. We don't need you to hide. And I'm saying this to myself right now. I could like cry. We don't need you to hide. We don't need you to quiet your voice. We don't need you to be a good girl. We don't need you to take the high road. Cause the drama. Be truthful. If it's the truth, no one can take that away. If it actually happened, if it's the truth, if there are facts, this isn't a made up story in your head. Do it. Talk about it. Share it. Because you're going to help someone else who maybe is going through the same thing, who maybe just had something happen to them and they don't know what to do. And that is my goal with this podcast. If you are going through something, and I hope that you haven't, but if you are, if you have, I hope that this podcast can help you know it's not your fault. You didn't cause this. You are going to be stronger. You stand in your truth. You use your voice. You step into your power. And I hope that, and I wrote this actually, this is a whole blog piece, by the way, that's coming out tomorrow on my website. I'll share a link so that you can find it when it comes out tomorrow, which is the 1 year anniversary of my amazing virtual summit that I did last year. But I wrote in that, as Tom Cruise said, like, you can't handle the truth. People that want you to be quiet, people that think, oh, you are in such an integrity for not saying anything and how you're handling this. What does that even mean? So you want me just to what? Like just take it like and do nothing about it and just be quieted? Is that what you think drama is? Because if a woman stands up for herself, if a woman calls out another woman for something that she did, that's drama. What about drama? Someone doing something wrong to someone else. What about drama is a person doing something totally unethical in a business? That's not drama. That's not something we should call out. No, you keep causing drama. You keep speaking out. You keep doing what's right for you. And if you don't want to do that, totally cool. Again, this is your journey. But I hope if you have gone through some kind of betrayal, some kind of whatever in your life, I hope that this helps you know that it wasn't your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. It is the other person. It is something that that other person did. And I love you. I would love feedback. I would love you to send me a message on Instagram in the DMs. Like, let me know, has something like this happened to you before? Do you wish people talked about it? Did you talk about it? Did you call somebody out? Maybe it was something in your church. Maybe it was something at a school. Maybe it was something in your household. Maybe it was something in business. Maybe it was something in your job, your corporate job, your career. Let's talk about these things because they happen. So instead of being quiet, and losing my voice and not sharing about it, I'm choosing to talk about it and say, yeah, this happened and it really sucked and it threw me for a loop for quite a long time. I'm here a year later talking about it, but I am talking about it because it's not right. And I love you. And I hope that you have the most amazing day today. And you go out and you use your voice and you stand in your power and you stand in your knowing and you trust yourself.